It started with the footsteps. At first, I thought I was imagining it. Late at night, around midnight, I'd hear them outside my apartment door. Soft, deliberate steps, like someone walking in circles. I'd lie there, frozen. They'd stop after a few minutes, and I'd tell myself it was nothing. Just the old building creaking, or maybe a neighbor passing by. But then, I started getting the messages. I see you, you're mine. They came from an unknown number, and at first, I thought it was Daniel. It had to be Daniel. We broke up almost a year ago, but he never really let go. He'd always been intense. He'd text me constantly, asking where I was, who I was with. After the breakup, he'd shown up at my job a few times, just standing outside and watching me through the glass. He never tried to talk to me, just stood there, smiling. I blocked his number, changed my locks, and eventually, he stopped showing up. But the messages, this felt like him. This had to be him. One night, I came home late to find my apartment door slightly open. My stomach dropped. I pushed it open slowly, stepping inside. The place was exactly how I left it, except for a single white rose sitting on my coffee table. I picked it up with shaking hands. My phone buzzed. A message. I'm in your closet. My breath hitched. My eyes darted to the closet door at the end of the hallway. My whole body locked up, every nerve screaming at me to run. But I couldn't. I grabbed the nearest heavy object, a lamp, and slowly crept toward the closet. My heart was beating so hard it hurt. I opened the door. Nothing. Just darkness. But on the floor was another white rose. I barely slept that night. I was convinced it was Daniel. He had finally snapped. I was going to call the police, but the next day, I saw him. I was at the grocery store, trying to distract myself, when I saw Daniel standing near the entrance. He was half in shadow, his face pale, eyes dark. His mouth curved into a faint smile as he watched me. I left my cart and practically ran to the exit. I didn't stop until I got home, deadbolting the door behind me. My phone buzzed. You look beautiful today. I couldn't breathe. Later that night, I sat on my couch, shaking, trying to figure out what to do. I turned on the TV just to drown out the silence. Some local news segment was playing. A reporter was talking about a car accident on the highway. I wasn't paying attention until they showed the picture, Daniel's picture. I sat up, blood roaring in my ears. The caption beneath his face read, "Victim identified as 27-year-old Daniel Harper, died on impact. Accident occurred 2 weeks ago." I stared at the screen, my brain refusing to process it. No, that wasn't possible. He was alive. I saw him. He was at the store today. He's been texting me. He left roses in my apartment. My phone buzzed again. Another message. Miss me? I threw the phone across the room. My whole body was trembling. I stumbled to the window and yanked the curtains shut. My heart was pounding so hard it hurt. And then, I heard it, scratching. It was coming from the window. I backed away slowly. My hands were shaking. I knew I shouldn't look, but I couldn't stop myself. Through the thin crack in the curtains, I saw him, Daniel. But it wasn't Daniel. His eyes were too dark. His mouth was twisted too wide. His skin was gray, stretched too tight across his face. And when he smiled, his teeth were all wrong, sharp and too white. I stumbled back, tears stinging my eyes, as the scratching grew louder. And then his mouth moved. "You let me in once," he whispered. I screamed and ran to the door. My hands were shaking so badly, I couldn't get the lock open. I could hear him moving now, hear the window sliding open. My hand finally closed around the lock, and I wrenched the door open, running barefoot into the hall. I didn't stop running until I reached my car. I locked the doors, gasping for breath as I fumbled with the keys. When I finally got the engine started, I looked up at my apartment window. He was there, Daniel, or whatever it was, standing in the window, staring down at me, his mouth stretched into a smile that was far too wide for any human face. I drove away and never looked back. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear the footsteps. And sometimes, when I close my eyes, I see his smile.